he had received the spices with peace. And what shall I more say? What more can I say? Right? It says, and what shall I more say? That's what it said. Right? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon. Right? And of Barack, not Obama. And of Samson. Right? And of Jephthah, of David and Samuel and the prophets. 33, it continues. And who wrought faith subdued kingdoms. This is what they did, the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms. Oh, so that's kind of like in the realm of what Samson did. He kind of subdued a kingdom, so to speak, or a faction. He subdued that faction, which helped deliver Israel as a judge, right? So remember, you got Samson right next to David and the prophets. Because I know what people going to think. They're going to think, well, if it was a suicide, if it can be technically deemed a suicide, well, where does that leave him for salvation? Well, you don't got to worry about that. He written in the faith chapter with all the saints. So this is going to further prove that, like bro said, it was a sacrifice more so than anything else. That's how you should look at it. Right? So it says, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions. Well, we know who that was. That's actually more than one person. Because you think about David, what did he do? Right? Quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiant. And that's what happened with Samson. Out of weakness was made strong. He was weak once he lost his power, but the Lord brought it back. It was made strong to show the power of the Lord. Waxed valiant. That's what Samson did too. He waxed valiant in fight. That's what it says. Waxed valiant in fight. That's Samson we talking about. And it said, turn to flight the armies of the aliens. That means the enemies or the strangers against Israel scrammed, because of the power of the Lord was with the men of God who fought for Israel. So with that being said, let's go back to the book of Judges, and we're going to see how it ended for Samson. And the question is the way the brother died a suicide? Is a suicide, right? Like the song, suicide is a suicide. Well, was it? Well, we gave you the short and long of it. It was really more of a sacrifice, and we're going to show you that. So we see in Samson 16, this was the end. Alright, so this was the end. But let me see if I want to read. Man, and brothers, watch out for that Jezebel spirit. But don't just watch out for that Jezebel spirit. You hear that all the time. Jezebel, Jezebel. You hear, and that's so true. But brother, you better be on, keep your head on the swivel when it comes to that. But guess what? Guess who gets honorary mention? Next to Jezebel, Delilah. Watch out for them Delilahs, the ones that's just trying to play you. Because you got them that's out there. See, at least, now, don't get me twisted, but just peep what I'm saying. At least Jezebel did things in the name to try to help Ahab, her husband, even though it was wicked. She was just trying to wear the pants. She was maybe the first, right? She was probably the first, I say, wife to wear the pants. She was trying to call the shots. And her husband was busy crying. She had to tell him to man up. Hey, what you doing crying and fasting? Get up. That's what she said. So he was a simp.
Yeah, he was a simp.
Hey, yo.
They returned for that, bro. Like, man, they compared men to King David versus Ahab.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the hey, bruh, I'm telling you, this role reversal that you see ain't nothing new under the sun. King Solomon called it. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Right? So, as a man, you gotta stand on your square and your business, no matter what a woman is talking about. And Ahab couldn't do that. I mean, clearly this woman Jezebel had some power, because even Elijah, the prophet, was shook up. So she obviously had some type of power, influence. You know, she was probably like Cersei off Game of Thrones, but everybody ain't seen Game of Thrones. But if you've seen Game of Thrones, you know what I mean. She was like Cersei off Game of Thrones. She was like, I guess even an easier example for everybody is probably like somebody like, now this might not seem like much or nothing, but if you think about it, it's something like kind of like a Cruella de Vil type of person. You see that? Just like a Cruella de Vil, just evil, mastermind, plotting, messy, and got the power to keep doing it. Cruella de Vil. Exactly. Right, they both got the word devil in them. Go figure. So you got to be careful of these out of order type women, brothers, because sometimes we get them and sometimes we fall for them. But we got to be wiser than the brothers in the Bible who messed up, like Samson giving you. See, why you think King Lemuel's mother, which is King Solomon's mom, right? Which, who is that? Bathsheba, right? Hey, you know she knew some game. You know Bathsheba knew some game, y'all. Think about everything she went through. You think she didn't know game and know men and know women? She said, don't give your strength unto women. That's what she said in Proverbs 31. Before you get to the virtuous woman part, Lemuel, go look up Lemuel. That's another name for King Solomon. That's who it is. Somebody might have been scratching their head like, who is King Lemuel? It's King Solomon. The same one that's in all the Proverbs, right? And all that game about a virtuous woman is coming from King Solomon's mama. And to me, it makes a whole bunch of sense, because somebody who's been through a lot, see, just because she was defiled, she didn't choose to be defiled. She didn't choose that. She didn't choose that. She was under the power of the king. That's why, hey, what did the Lord do to her? The Lord jammed up David, because that was his call. He was supposed to leave her alone.
So she couldn't rebel. She couldn't say, nah,
bro,
I'll not do this in Israel. Just like how David's daughter was when the son.
Yeah, that was a son. That wasn't the king.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, she could have tried. She could have tried. Who's to say she didn't try?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the same reason we go back to Abraham and Sarah, because it just showed you that it was different when it came to men humbling women. It was easier for it to happen. It was way easier for it to happen. That's why Abraham was trying to move like that, right? And that's why, hey, we already read Genesis 20 in the lesson. So, let's get back to Samson. Right, and then we go into our next question. So Samson was jumping from these different women. It's crazy. And that's probably what led to his downfall. If you think about it, he probably didn't have to go out like that. He probably could have kept his strength. But look what he did, messing with these messy women. You see that? That's why, you know, a woman that goes through a lot and seen a lot, she got a lot of game to give, right? And I can imagine, if we talking about Bathsheba, I can imagine how much she's seen, going from the bottom or where she was, because remember her husband was the poor man in the parable, to living amongst the king. Do you know how much she's seen from being in both parts, seeing both sides of everything? Like, bruh, she got some, trust me, she done got some game. She done got some game. And so Samson didn't take heed to that game, right? Because he gave his strength unto women. Literally, he gave his strength unto Delilah, bruh. So Judges 16. And I'm going to pick it up at verse 9. Now, there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber. This is crazy. That's treacherous. It's men that was behind Delilah to set up Samson, and Samson blinded by it because he liked Delilah. Don't Negroes be setting up cats through women all the time? I mean, that's like the oldest trick in the book.
It is.
That's why you got to be careful. You go into you go into a new city. You think you just having fun. You meeting girls at clubs and stuff. You think you just having fun. You got to be careful. You ain't never been there before. You don't know what them Jones is up to. Especially you younger, and it's just straight wild out here. You think you just going to Miami. You think you just going to Atlanta. You think you just going to Chicago just to turn up. See, that's why you got to be more focused and have your priorities straight, and you won't get caught up in those wrong crowds. You have to have wisdom, right? Because look what's going on with a man of God. If a man of God can fall under this trap, hey man, that means everybody fair game. Look how much power he had, and he gave his strength unto a little 5'4" woman. And this dude's a giant, got all this power, and you still see that to this day. You got little women barking up at these big old men, telling them what they better be doing. You better do this and you better do that. Like what? You still see that. You see that. And she'll be threatening him. I'll kick you out. I'll whoop your ass. Like what? I'm just talking about it because you see it. How does a whole man allow that? You giving your strength unto women. See, it's not just about sex. It could be mentally, right? Because, yeah, sex is a big part. You can mess up because of sex. You know, the sex. S-E-C-S. The sex. Right? The sex. You could mess up and give your strength to women that way. And women can mess up too, the same way. You worried about the wrong thing. Remember, Lauryn Hill made a whole song about it. That thing, that thing, that thing. Doo-wop. You know what it's about? Right? Said some guys only. Right? What they worry about, that thing. That's why she said, girls, you better watch out. And fellas, watch out too, because some girls just only about that thing. And that thing was talking about the sex. Right? So don't let that tear you down. So it says the Philistines, it says, and she said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson, and he brake the withs as a thread of tow is broken when it toucheth the fire. So his strength was not known. So he still had his strength at this time. And then it says, verse 10, and Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me. Look at her. She playing victim. She's playing victim like you see many women will do. Now, I'm not trying to bash women. I'm just looking at these examples. This is what we talking about. It's not my topic I'm trying to talk about. These questions, we answering the question.
He still fell for it.
Yeah, this is his fault. It's his fault. See, we're not just talking about the women. This is Samson's fault. And she running game, giving him the puppy eyes and the bait and switch. He got his power, but now he the problem. Because she don't got her way. And she running game in the first place. So you've got to watch out for real of that Jezebel spirit and that Delilah spirit. Right. Don't sleep on that Delilah spirit. It will get you messed up. And Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee. See, again, this little 5'4" screaming to the linebacker. Right. And she's screaming, you better do this, you better do that, talking on her neck. Look what she did. You told me lies, now tell me, I can hear her right now. I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. Look at that. The woman's supposed to be bound. We done read that the woman's supposed to be bound. Never mind. That's crazy. 11. And he said unto her, if they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another man. See, he at least was hip to the game at first, but he gave in. That show you that eventually you can give in and fold. And if you got a woman that's going to keep on trying to get you to fold, that is not your woman, bruh. She not for you, bruh. And if you got to keep questioning why this woman keep being like, it tell you that like contention when it's with its strife and with its metal with, it's like a continual dropping. The Bible tell you that in Proverbs. It's like a continual drop. If she continuous, nagging on your nerves, bro, you need to ask yourself, what are you doing?
That's facts, bro. I take that too.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what I'm saying? And that's just based on what we reading.
Right.
Because look, she didn't quit. Because how many times she didn't give up, bruh? And he's going through hell. He's literally going through hell and he's trying to keep his strength. And let's keep reading, man. Verse 12. Delilah therefore took new ropes. She not giving up. She manipulative. And bound him therewith and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee. You know why she said that, right? She obviously said, if I'm not mistaken, she obviously said that, I guess, in his sleep, to see if he was going to bust out of, you know, go Hulkmania, right? Turn into the Hulk. Because look, she bound him with ropes, trying to tie him up to see if he still got the strength. So what happened? And look how she said, you know, sometimes when they say your name, they're not saying your name to be loving. They saying your name out of spite because they want something. The Philistines be upon thee, Samson. That's what it say. Verse, we in the middle of 12. And there were liars in wait, abiding in the chamber. Look at that. And he brake them from off his arms like a thread. You see that? He turned Hulk. He turned green on him. He turned Hulk mania on him. And Delilah said unto Samson, hitherto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me where. Look, she not stopping. She like a bro. She is like a mosquito. She keep buzzing in his ear. Thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me, this is worse than, man, goodness. Thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. She not giving up. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head, here we go, y'all. If thou weavest the 7 locks of my head. Look at this dude, bro. With the web, and she fastened it with the pin, and she said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson, again, running game, and he awake out of his sleep. I knew he had to be asleep, and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web. And she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee? Look, she pillow talking, trying to get him, bruh, set up. I love thee when thy heart is not with me. This is what she's saying, bro. She look at what she's saying. She said, and she said unto him, how canst thou say, you know she running game. How canst thou say is I love thee? She's checking him. How you gonna tell me you love me when your heart is not with me because you're not doing what I say? Bruh, it's straight game. And it's nothing new under the sun. Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily. Now she pressing him out. Now she play on the football team, huh? And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words. I told you she not giving up. Mocking him in the back of her mind, like this idiot. I'm gonna make him bend. And urge him so that his soul, look at this, y'all. And urge him so that his soul was vexed unto death.
That's crazy. Bruh. That's exactly what happens, bro.
What?
That's what be happening. The Bible is the game of all games.
It's telling you everything.
Yes.
This happens to this day, 2024.
Wow.
Right? And I'm just saying, it's in here for a reason, right? So we know what ends up happening. I just need to see the decline of his strength. His decline didn't just happen. It didn't start with the hair. It started in the mind. He got weaker and weaker, giving up his strength unto this. I bet you she was 5'4". Them small women be problems. Shorter than that, 5'3". Man. But we're going to skip down to verse 19 and say, and she made him sleep upon her knees. Bro, what? What's going on? It's the last time we read this. So what's going on? And she made him sleep upon her knees. What's going on? What's going on, bro? And she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks. Man, how disrespectful. Another man where you laying? Nah, it ain't glitch. That's just me. How, Sway? And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. That's verse 19. So, I'm sorry, y'all. We look, it's still light outside. It's still the Sabbath. So, I know we taking the scenic routes a lot of times in Q&A. But that's because it's a lot to understand and discuss. It's a lot of gain, like bro says, a lot of wisdom up in here. And when you look at the whole picture, you see everything, and it's just like, whoa. So sorry if we taking the scenic route, but what y'all doing anyway? It's still the Sabbath. So now, we're going to skip. We're going to read 20 and then we're going to skip. It says, and she said, now she's still going. Bro, she's still going. And she's taking this to the grave, obviously.
Hey Josh.
What's up?
You said what else they have better to do? This is the same stuff you see on reality shows.
This is praise the Lord, bro. I love pointing that out, you know. But I meant the Sabbath people. They know they supposed to be keeping the Sabbath, and it's still the Sabbath. So what they shouldn't be complaining anyway. That's what I meant for them. But you made a great point, because this is better. What we reading is better than any little reality show, any little drama, TV series, daytime, whatever you want to watch. Look, this is better, and I'll tell you why it's better. Because you get in real life accounts of that same fake drama that you see. That reality TV stuff ain't real. That same scripted stuff that you see that you think is entertaining you, you get that times 100 in the Bible. Right. with the, where I don't care if you want to call it tea, I don't care if you want to call it, you know, just, you know, what's popping. I don't care if you want to call it, Shade room, TMZ. I don't care what you want to call it. Right? What you get in the Bible is 100 times more exhilarating, and because you, first of all, you reading our history, and you can see why we so caught up in all this drama and stuff today, because we the same people, right? So all you got, there should be enough drama in your own life for you to go be looking at somebody else on TV, right? Because we the same people. But that's not the important part. You shouldn't just enjoy the Bible because it got a lot of, you know, because it got a lot of, you know, just drama and sex. We just gonna keep it real, and you know, and fornication and adultery, and you know, that's what you see on all the movies. You watch Power and all the shows. It's the same stuff, but the thing what makes it great in the Bible is you seeing how God is viewing everything. And then you learning on what you need to do to please God. You learning from people's mistakes. You don't get that when you watch Power, right? Because you're not going to learn. What you going to learn? How you going to learn how to act from watching Raising Kanan or watching, right? Well, how you going to learn how to be better? You might learn some little things here and there that might make you think like, oh, okay, that was actually a good point. But nah, we trying to get you to see how you need to be groomed, men and women, for eternal life. By learning what displeases God, what causes God to bring some wrath on a person or some people, a group. What causes God to look at something and be like, you know what, I'm not even dealing with you no more. Or what causes him to be displeased? What causes him to be like, you know what, I have some mercy on you? What causes him to, how is he looking at you and how you moving? You learn that when you pick up the Bible and you learn from these stories that we read. All right. So, it says, verse 20, it says, and she said, she's still going, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. Now she done it. Now that his power really gone, she's still testing the same. That's how you know it was a plot. She keeps doing the same thing. And he awoke out of his sleep. Why he's still there with her? Why he's still there with her? And said, I will go out as at other times before. Yeah, you think you're going to go out as other times before. You don't even know your power gone, bro. They got you while you was asleep. Got him. Caught you slipping. Caught you slipping straight up. Service unattainable. They say that in Nigeria. They got an accent and everything on the phone. They say, over here they be like, your call cannot be completed as dial. Over there they be like, phone call unattainable. I was like, what? Like, what? It's like, whoa. Right? But it say, dang, bro, and this how you knew they was black. And she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, bro. He was like a Rasta. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went out from him. That was 19 again. So 20, it says, he thinking he gonna go out like next, like all the times before. I don't know why he's still there. He said, and shake myself. He gonna turn into the Hulk. He thought he was. But it says, and he wist not that the Lord was the, that's scary, bro. What did it say in 20? And he didn't know, it said he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. So you can give your strength to, bro, I'm telling you, bro, I done been through some things, y'all. What? You give your strength to a woman, next thing you know, you looking for the Lord, and you in a jam, and unless the Lord intervene, you done. Unless the Lord come back and have mercy on you and give you your strength back, because you mess with the wrong woman, bro. I done seen it. Right? And it happens to brothers all the time. So brothers need to learn. Right? They need to learn from these examples. Like Samson is like the dude, I'm sorry y'all, I'll keep going. He like the dude off of Showtime with Robert De Niro and Eddie Murphy, the dude that got caught. The black dude, he kind of like Dave Chappelle. He was like, all the little boys, he got caught. He was like, all the little boys and girls in TV land, don't be like me. He was like, don't be like me. Because I done messed up. He was like, I'm a criminal. He was like, all the little boys. If I got one message to everybody, he was like, if we on TV, all the little boys and girls in TV land, don't be like me. This is what Samson would tell you. He's saying, don't be like me, bro. This is what he would say at the end of his life. He'd tell you, bro, don't be. He's shaking his head looking sad. No dreads. Like Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne. Hey, bro, I need to chill. All right, so anyway. Okay, so. Yo, what happened to Wayne's dreads, bro? He got like a couple little, like, they look like just like cooked ramen noodles because they blonde too. Like, man, I don't know what's going on, bro. I don't know what's going on, bro. He got like a Twizzler in the back, and he got like some fuzz on the side. Like, bro, I don't know what's going on. He bald on one part. Like, bro, that junk crazy, bro. Drugs, bro. Drugs and stress. But, or messing with a Delilah. Yeah. And apparently Wayne, that's another thing. He just got his shorty that he used to always mess his ex. Apparently he got her a mansion somewhere so the kids can be like a $3 million mansion so the kids can. That girl he used to always talk about, forgot her name. Apparently that's one of his ex-baby mamas, and he got her a mansion, $3 million mansion, I think, in Cali, just so the kids can, I guess they can do more stuff with the kids together because she not from there. So now she can come visit, and the kids can do stuff with both of them as opposed to just him. So, I mean, hey, I'm not saying, nobody's saying that's bad, but that's the recent stuff I heard about Wayne. That girl he used to always talk about. But anyway, Samson, right? See, this why stuff be so long. We talking about everything. Samson says, okay, and it came to pass, this is verse 25, 24, it says, and when the people saw him, they praised their God, for they said, our God had delivered into our hands our enemy and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. You know, these are the these are the Philistines, right? Look what 23 say. It says, then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon their God. See, God not with Samson no more. So now that's when the devil started to do his dirty work and rise and get his shine and favor, right? All because this dude listened to some woman, just like Adam and Eve. Oh, yeah. Whoa! And to rejoice, for they said, our God have delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hand. Our God. You see what happened? You give occasion for the enemy to rejoice when you don't stand on business as a man. 25, and it says, and it came to pass when their hearts were merry that they said, call for Samson that he may make us sport. Wow, now they playing games with you, boy. Now you just another slave in the Colosseum. Because now you don't got no power. That's what happened when we went into slavery. We're our power. Right? And they called for Samson out of the prison. You see how much you can get just from reading the scripts, y'all. And he made them sport, and they set him between the pillars. Now he's in between the pillars. And Samson said unto the lad that held him by the hand, suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house standeth, that I may lean upon them. Right? Because you got to remember too what's going to happen, that I got to skip back to 21, because you know why he asking this question? Because let's see what happened to Samson in 21. The Lord ain't with him no more, so it get ugly when the Lord ain't with you. But the Philistines took him and put out his eyes. They plucked out his eyes, y'all. And brought him down to Gaza and bound him with fetters of brass, and he did grind in the prison house. Now he in jail, no more power. He don't got eyes. They took his eyes out, bruh. He looked like Clayton Bigsby off Dave Chappelle. So, bruh, eyes and hair, that's crazy, bro. Don't give your strength unto women. And Samson said unto the lad, that's what we just read, 26, 27. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines were there, and there were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women that beheld while Samson made sport. Now the whole world is just making fun of you, bruh. And Samson called unto the Lord and said, O Lord, he called unto God. O Lord God, remember me, I pray thee, and strengthen me. Look at this. Look how merciful God is. I pray thee only this once, O God, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. So they didn't even he wasn't like Slick Rick with the patch. Boy, he had both his eyes gone. And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars and this is the Lord's mercy. The Lord didn't have to do this. But the Lord had a great plan at the end to use Samson, and he's going to get eternal life. Pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one with his right hand and on the other with his left. And Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. Is that a suicide? Again, I said it could look like it, but technically, like bro said, it was a sacrifice, because he's trying to let the Lord use him to be avenged, right? And not just for him. We're gonna see it's gonna be for the nation. And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the Lord. See, so that Lord gave him his strength back, and upon all the people that were therein. Dang, all the people. So the dead which he slew at his death. Look at that. He pulled a Yoshimitsu. He died, and the enemies died. Were more than they which he slew in his life. Look at that, his whole life. Then his brethren and all the house of his father came down and took him and brought him and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaolin, the burying place of Manoah, his father. And he judged Israel 20 years, brothers and sisters. And we see that, hey, that's how it ended. So that was a sacrifice, and praise the Lord that he destroyed the enemies when it was all said and done. And the Lord heard him even at the end. So if the Lord heard him, he's in good standing. All right, so that was a bit drawn out and long, but we got let's do 2 more questions, and whatever else we don't get to, we'll save for next time. So 2 more questions. What we got, bro?
Okay, next question is the 2 wildernesses. Can you explain it, or is it too lengthy for Q&A?
No, no. Okay, I can explain everything in about 3 sentences and tell you yes or no without even reading something, but we just let the Spirit have its way. So anyway, what we're gonna do is let's give you a real quick answer to the 2 wildernesses. All right, real easy. Let's go to Revelation 12. Let's go to the book of Revelation. I'm gonna try to go to 1. I'm not about to sing Public Enemy #1. That's not what I was about to do. But I'm trying to go to 1, 2, 3. We only need to go to 4 places. All right. So Revelation 12. Let's start in Revelation 12. And let's pick it up at verse 1. We're going to be quick, y'all. We're going to be quick. It was obviously some deep stuff we needed to get out of that SAMSON thing. Right? Yeah. All praises. So chapter 12, Revelation, chapter 12. Okay, so let's get straight to the nitty gritty. Let's get straight to it. Y'all ready? Revelation 12, and it says, verse 1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and with the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Okay, who is this woman? This woman is none other than the nation of Israel, God's church. That's why I got 12 stars representing 12 tribes of Israel. You can go back and read this on your own in Genesis 37. That's where it came from, okay? And she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered. Who was this woman giving birth to? Christ. I'm just letting the cat out the bag, right? Again, when we need to be quick, we can be quick with this thing. It ain't nothing, right? So I'm going to skip down to verse 5. And she brought forth a man-child. This is that same woman, the nation of Israel, brought forth a man-child. So God, Jesus, came out of the nation of Israel, out of the tribe of Judah. Hebrews 7, he sprang out of Judah, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, right? And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. So Jesus came the first time, right? But he's the Prince of Peace. Remember we read back in Isaiah chapter 9, all the mighty titles, Counselor, Governor, right? The Prince of Peace, right? The Everlasting Father, all of that, because he's coming to rule the nations with a rod of iron, right? He's bringing peace by way of war, right? With that rod of iron, he's going to get the world disciplined and in check when he returns, right? But until that happens, where is he right now? Caught up unto God, to his throne on the right hand of the Father. Right now, back to this woman, verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness. Oh, the wilderness. Oh, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. 1,000. Who is that? 1,260 days. That's great tribulation, brothers and sisters. That's great tribulation. All right. So that's where the woman is going to have her place of safety, right? During great tribulation, during this, where this dragon and this beast system, this harlot woman. So you got the church, which is God's church, which is the woman, which is a bride, and then you got the harlot, which is Satan's church, representing Rome, right? Babylon, Rome, right? And this is who's going to be orchestrating great tribulation. This is who we're trying to flee from, right? Satan is giving power over to Rome to afflict the world like you've never seen. That's why it's called great tribulation, for 3.5 years. Time and time and half a time, right? 1,260 days, right? So now it says, now this is the first half of the wilderness. This is the first part of the wilderness, right? Verse 13, and it says, and when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, right, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. So he's trying to persecute Israel in these last days during great tribulation. But remember, she got a place in the wilderness prepared for her. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle. This is why you don't need no passports. God's going to do it with his marvelous stretched out arm like he did back in Egypt. Because we in Egypt 2.0. So it's about to be Exodus 2.0. That she might fly into where? Into the wilderness. Into her place where she is nourished for a time and half a time. Oh, there you go again, 3.5 years. From the face of the serpent. Oh, that's Satan. And he working through his armies and his men, which is the Pope and his underlings. The Pope and his revived Roman Empire and the nations, the European nations that formed to give the Pope their armies for 1 hour with the beast, like it said in Revelation 17. Okay, so now let's go skip. I said 4 places, so that's 1. So let's go over to Revelation 3, still in Revelation, and we go into one place, verse 10. It says this, Revelation 3 and 10, for whoever asked this question, the 2 wildernesses, it's really 1 wilderness, but it's 2 events that happen before the Lord brings us into the promised land. There's 1 wilderness area, right? Read Isaiah 16, you can see about the valley of Arnon. We broke that down when we was in our other spot, our other building. Had it on the screen and everything. You can go back and look for it, or I can send it to you. Broke down the wilderness. We had maps up. We showed you exactly where, right? I remember that like yesterday, right? The valley of Arnon, right? Where is that, right? Well, we can show you. Verse 10, Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience. These are the people, look, and this is very important, because only certain people going to make this first half of the wilderness. When we talking about the people that make it to the place of safety from great tribulation, it's only going to be a certain type of people that's here. If you reprobate, you're not going to be here at this time. These are a certain type of people, and we're going to prove it to you. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience. This is what the Lord is saying. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, that's great tribulation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So only the people that keep the word of his patience are going to be celebrating and rejoicing and safe in the wilderness. So you got to be right and you got to be tight with this. But guess what? Just because you right and tight, that also don't mean you're going to make it, because some people are going to have to do exploits, like it say in the book of Daniel, to help recover the faith of those, right? And you might have to give your life up, right, as a martyr to strengthen the faith of others, brothers and sisters. The Bible tell you that in Revelation 20, and it tell you back in the book of Daniel as well, okay? And I don't know if we're going to Daniel yet, but no, I don't think so. But it says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. This is because thou hast kept the word of my patience. This is Revelation 3:10. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation which shall come upon all the world. Because it's going to be a time like the world has never seen, brothers and sisters. This is why we got 24/7 watch. To try them that dwell upon the earth. So now let's go to Psalm 91. This is the first half of the wilderness, or the first, I say, part. And then the second part is we're going to see where all Israel going to be gathered. And then we're going to see there's going to be a purging process in the wilderness, brothers and sisters. But at this point, you're going to have the Lord here finishing his 3.5 year ministry, because he got cut off in the midst of the week. Week is 7 years. He was supposed to he did 3.5 years. He got cut off in the middle. He got to finish his other 3.5 years. And remember, his first 3.5 years, what was he doing? He went unto the lost sheep. He said, he even told the disciples, don't even go to no other nations, because I'm on a mission for my sheep. That's why his 12 was all with all Israelites. So Psalm 91, he gonna finish that mission, because that's the part of the covenant. He got to fulfill the covenant with Israel, brothers and sisters. He got to marry his bride. Remember, it's the woman. Remember that woman? He gonna marry her in the wilderness, just like he did in the beginning of our history. He's remarrying us, brothers and sisters. But he got to get us right. And those that's going to rebel, he's going to get them out. That's just the second half. It's not two different wildernesses. It's one wilderness, two different events taking place at two different times. So Psalm 91, we're going to show you, we still looking at the first, and now we only need one spot to show you about the second. And I don't know where I'm at, but I said Psalm 91. And see, the good thing about doing long Q&As like this, by the time we're done, it's going to be dark. And hey, not that we waiting for the Sabbath to be over. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's a smooth transition. So anyway, Psalm 91 and verse 1. Psalm 91 and verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Hey, look, man, these motivational places, churches, and people out here, they love Psalm 91, have no clue that it's actually talking about a select group of people at a select time in the wilderness, the place of safety. They don't have no clue. Everybody wants to use this for their own personal motivation and encouragement. Nah, man, this is talking about Israel, and only a select few of Israel, and spiritual Israel too, that's going to be in the wilderness and protected by God during the worst time in human history. That's what we reading about in Psalm 91. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. That sound good, but the Lord got a specific direct mission for Israel and those that follow along with his sheep. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Because remember, during great tribulation, hey, it's going to be fair game. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Remember, he said, if you keep the words of my patience, I'm going to keep you from this hour of temptation that's going to come over the whole world. Well, he's telling you the same thing right here. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler. That's his word. You follow his word now, hey, 9 times out of 10, you more than likely be found worthy to make the cut in the wilderness, right? It says, thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, because it's going to be the most terrible time on the planet, right? Nor for the arrow or the bullets that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence, that's the disease, COVID-19, just the beginning, that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. It's going to be all day, just like when something's like bad going on in you know, the Middle East, war, the Hamas. You see what's going on right now with the Israelis and Hamas and this whole war, right? I mean, it could be 2 o'clock, 2 p.m., it could be 10 a.m., it could be 4 p.m., it could be 7 p.m. All throughout the day, you hearing about bad stuff happening. That's what happens during war. It says, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. Dang. 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Right. Only with thine eye. See, everybody knows these verses, but we up in here understand what this applies to. Only with thy eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Why? Because you're going to be in a place of safety. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. Remember, if you keep the word of my patience, I shall keep you from the hour of temptation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all the way. Didn't the angels do that back in the wilderness too? As long as you didn't vex the Holy Spirit. See, God don't change. Right? They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Man, that's just like back in the day. Their feet didn't even, their shoes didn't even get messed up.
They try to use that verse right there, Jesus.
Yep.
Temptation.
I know, he sure did. Yeah, he did in Matthew 4. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because he hath set his love upon thee. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer. I will be with him in trouble, even the most troublous time that the world has ever seen. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Because if you make this cut, you most likely, you can say that, hey, more than likely, if I don't mess up, first resurrection, I'm in. So now, that's 3. So let's go to our last place and just show this real quick. Ezekiel. This is when the Lord going, now he got, see, the tribulation, when the tribulation take place, the Lord is here, but he not on earth. He like Goku, just up in the sky, on the cloud. He not on earth yet. By the time the second wilderness take place, see the first part of the wilderness, he not on earth. The second part of the wilderness is after Armageddon. The first part of the wilderness before Armageddon. Second part of the wilderness after Armageddon. Now the Lord is back here on the actual on the planet. He touching the earth. He touching the ground, right? Because remember that 7th trumpet. The kingdoms of this world going to become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ. And remember, his feet had to touch Mount Olive, because that's where he left from. And you read the book of Acts, chapter 1. He coming back the same way. He told you that. He coming back, descending back with a cloud in the same way that he went up. His feet going to touch the Mount of Olives. It's going to split. And then it's wartime with the saints. He shall return him and his saints with thee. Armies, troops. Read Psalm 149. Nat Turner quoted that, because he knew that's what sparked his rebellion, because he knew it was time for war and battle. But that wasn't the time for that during the rebellion. That's why we still in slavery. It's going to be time for that when the Lord comes back. And that's when we're going to be done with slavery. That's going to be Exodus 2.0. Right.
And that's what it was for him after he went to battle, right?
I mean, no, it did. It made some headway. It made some headway. But I feel you. You wild for that. Angels and new freshly new made gods are going to fight with the Lord. And then the physical Israelites that have been left alive, they're going to be gathered. Read Isaiah 27, read Matthew 24. And they're going to be gathered at the wilderness at this time after Great Tribulation, after the 7 trumpets and 7 vials, right? Which is the day of the Lord, right? And that 7th trumpet, Armageddon, take place. Hey, east versus west are going to turn from fighting each other at the valley of Megiddo. They're going to turn towards to fight God. And like it said in Revelation 17, the Lamb shall overcome them. They shall make war with the Lamb, but the Lamb shall overcome them because he is Lord of Lord, King of Kings. Right? And then that's when we get to the second part of the wilderness, where the Lord has to confirm the covenant with Israel before he takes us into the promised land as a nation. So now, Ezekiel, and that's it, 20. Ezekiel, Zeke. Zeke. Hey, yo, Zeke. All right, so Ezekiel, and we gonna pick it up. Why is the chapter so long? We gonna pick it up at, oh, dang, is this chapter really that long? That's crazy. I didn't realize it was that long. Ezekiel chapter 20. Right, yeah, Zeke. Well, you know what's funny about this? Bro, everything go back to the commandments and go back to the covenant, go back to this. God ain't forget his covenant, he ain't forget his people. So this is the last place, and then we got one more question after this, and we closing out just in time for when it get dark, because it's going to get dark in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So we right on time, we right on schedule. Lord's time. Ezekiel 20, we picking it up at verse 10, verse 9, verse 8. Dang, verse 7. Okay, verse 7. It says, then said I unto them, cast ye away every man the abomination of his eyes, and defile not yourselves with the idols of Egypt. Wow, we going back to Egypt. Because he going to take us from the first Egypt to the first Exodus to the second Exodus, brothers and sisters. See, before we went into the promised land, we was in the wilderness the first time, and guess what? Before we go back into the promised land again, we got to go back into the wilderness again. You see how the Lord works? He don't change. I'm the Lord your God. He don't change. He said, but what happened? What did we do back then? We're supposed to be learning from this. But they rebelled against me and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Right. Then I said, that's the problem. Like national security, Martin, what the problem is, that's the problem. I will pour out my fury upon them to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. But I wrote for my name's sake. See, that's why he did it. That's why he had grace. That's why he had mercy, because he was going to start over with Moses and kill them all. That it should not be polluted before the heathen. See, among whom they were, in whose sight I made myself known unto them in bringing them forth out of the land of Egypt. Wow. He's going to do it again. He's going to bring us up, because we went into Egypt again by way of ships. So he's going to do it again. Exodus 2.0. Wherefore I caused them to go forth out of the land of Egypt and brought them into the into the wilderness. I'm loud as a mug, yo. They probably like, when are these niggas going home? Sorry. I didn't mean to say that. And I gave them my statutes and showed them my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. See, it's all about doing your duty. Like Big Bro's lesson last week. Like integrity today. Moreover, also I gave them my Sabbaths to be signed between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctified them. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. Oh, snap. This is a learning point, a learning tool. They walk not in my statutes, and they despise my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. The Lord is giving you a free ticket. He's saying this is all you got to do. Follow the rules. Right? They despise my judgment. With a man do, he shall even live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. You see that? So the Lord is showing you he don't change, because guess what? We got to go back to the wilderness. Why? Because we went back into Egypt. Why? Because we broke the covenant. Why? Because we didn't keep the commandments. Why? Because we are stiff-necked people. And thank God that he is the Lord, he changes not. Therefore the sons of Jacob, you are not consumed off the earth. Because if it wasn't for the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we would be consumed off the earth. That's crazy. So, now let's skip over to the future. Verse 30, it says, wherefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, are ye polluted after the manner of your fathers? And commit ye whoredom after their abominations? Why are we still doing the same thing? Even to this day? See, that's how you know we still got some time. God giving us a little bit of time left to get this thing right. That's a merciful God. You got time to get your house in order to make this thing, brothers and sisters. Because we not all the way right yet. You can just look around at our people. But some people not going to get right until this time, until they get actually back to the wilderness. It says, for when ye offer your gifts, when ye make your sons to pass through the fire, people still doing that to this day. You got your Dwayne Wades and your Magic Johnsons. What you think they doing? They sacrificing their kids. Ye pollute yourselves with all your idols, even unto even unto what? Even unto this day. And shall I be inquired of you, O house of Israel? As I live, saith the Lord God, I will not be inquired by you. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stones. That was always our problem, trying to be like the other nations. Right? Verse 33. Now let's get to it. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand, I told you, this is what we read in Revelation 12. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. See that rod of iron? But before he does this, he has to get us right and finish his 3.5-year ministry after Great Tribulation. Alright? And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered. See, we in Egypt 2.0. Egypt again by way of ships. With a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out, because he's going to do some killing for us, because these nations took our punishment too far. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. See, during Great Tribulation, those that make it to the place of safety, he's just going to have his angels there. He's not going to be face to face. Face to face. 36, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. Oh, he comparing it to the first. So will I plead with you, saith the Lord God, and I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you under the bond of the covenant. See, he has to fulfill the covenant that we read about in Daniel 9. Right? And I will purge out from among you the rebels. See, this is when he gathers us from all nations back to wilderness. Right? It sounded like a techno song from the early 80s. And among you the rebels and them that transgress against me, I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Because before we go into the land, we have to get married to the Lord through the covenant, in the wilderness 3.5 years. Okay, so that's the long and short of that. And we could keep reading. It's a lot more stuff we can read, but that's it. That's all we're going to do on that. I said 4 places. So our last question for the day, and we will be done. And we will continue with whatever we don't finish in our next session. It's probably just a little bit of light outside because I saw what it looked like at 9 p.m. yesterday, and it was light outside. So I know it's still light outside. So we got one more question, or maybe 2, but I say 1. And Brother Jonathan, if you don't mind.
Next question deals with clean and unclean meats. From 3 different individuals, Kevin, Dom, and Donna. So I'll just group them all into one.
Okay, cool. We got a 3-for.
So they would like to know of the following: what is clean to eat? Buffalo and moose, ostrich, flamingo birds.
Yeah. So let's go over to the dietary law and show you that pretty much none of that is clean. And we go into Leviticus. And Brother John, did we actually have any, or were those actually the last questions, or do we have more?
Still have one more.
Just one? That's it?
After these.
Oh, well, interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see. Because if it's just one, we might as well finish it up. But so for our brothers and sisters who's asking about clean and unclean, those are clean. Those are unclean animals that you all mentioned.
Buffalo's clean. Buffalo and moose.
Well, we're gonna look at it.
Buffalo's calf. That's the beef. That's like in the calf family.
Yeah, we're gonna look at it. That's why I said for the most part. So, cause it's related to bison, and bison's good. You can have a bison burger. You can have a bison burger. But for the most part, everything they said was unclean. All this ostriches, flamingos, all of that stuff. It's unclean. Them birds you mentioned, unclean. So, Leviticus 11. And we're going to pick it up at verse 1. And it says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat nothing. You shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed." So here's your specifications. "Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud, among the beasts that shall ye eat." So, in order for something to be deemed eatable as a beast that's on the earth, 4-footed or whatever, they gotta have these qualifications. So, yes, your bison and your buffalo, and deer, right? all of these things can be eaten because they have a part in their hoof, they're cloven-footed, and they cheweth the cud, right? So they digest, regurgitate, digest, and among the beasts, you can eat that. So let's give you a list of some of these animals.
Josh, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
People that say they vegetarian and don't want to eat meat, right?
Uh-huh.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But whatever that animal is eating, you're eating. So if you're a vegetarian, let's say if you have no vegetation around you, but you got that meat, right? I'm just saying, like, it's probably rare. What you're eating, the animal that you're eating what that animal eats. So if you're eating an animal that eats vegetation, you're still technically a vegetarian. Technically, right?
Yeah, but they're not going to
understand on that level.
they're not going to eat it. They're not going to eat the meat.
Right.
Unless if they vegan or.
Of course, but what I'm saying is technically you're eating what the animal eats. So
Right.
the animal's eating vegetation, right? And you eating meat. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, you don't have to make a big stink about eating the animal. Like how animals are natural. Now some people say it's not naturally animal, but that animal's digesting what is being eaten out of the vegetation, out of the ground, whatever, right? Technically, that's basically keeping the system going. So you're eating exactly what that animal's eating.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't everything go back to dust anyway?
Mm-hmm. It's like Mufasa told Simba, it's a circle of life.
Exactly.
It's real though.
Right.
That's real. So I want to look at some animals that are okay, based that keep this that have these qualifications. And I'm looking for a post that I did that actually is probably my favorite dietary law post, and I'm just looking for it real quick because it's a long list. It's a really dope list. I'm gonna find it in a second, Lord willing. It's all the same stuff popping up.
Yeah, that's all I was saying when people say you can't eat meat and all that's not natural.
I mean, yeah, the people, yeah. I mean that, and in the Bible talk about that. Some people eat meat, some people don't. The Bible talk about that.
Right. Just looking at it from that standpoint, if they want to say they're vegetarian, they're saying it's not natural, but the animal is eating vegetation. How can you say that's not natural? There's nothing wrong with somebody choosing not to eat meat they don't want to eat meat. You don't tell somebody they have to, they can't eat meat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's
condone you eating meat as long as it's clean.
right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Dang, it's crazy when you trying to find something, it ain't nowhere to be found. But for the, we know that because the Bible don't really he's giving you what's unclean. So he tells you that the camel, the coney, right, the swine, and it's because they don't meet all three of the qualifications, right? So he give you some things that are good. The camel that you shouldn't eat because they're unclean to you because they don't have all the qualifications. But then there's some animals like chicken and turkey, we know that, venison, right? We got different things like that. We mentioned the deer, y'all mentioned the buffalo. I put that in the family of the bison, But I want to give you an extensive list when I find it of more animals, so you know what you can mess with out here. We found out that giraffes are clean to eat. Ain't that something else? Did y'all know that out there? You might be listening online. Did you know giraffes are clean? Alright, my dietary law post is going to come up eventually. When you looking for something, that's crazy how I don't want to pop up. But if I type in Ezekiel 4, I bet you it'll pop up, because now I remember I used that scripture. Ezekiel 4, boom, it popped up. Look at that.
So the family of the bison, right? I'm gonna say it's called the Blvd E.
How you say it again?
Blvd E.
Yeah, a lot of them have those names like that.
So anything that's like a cow, bison, you know what I'm saying, water buffalo, whatever, those fall under that category.
Ain't that crazy? A water buffalo. Who would have thought that a water? But you know how big them Jones is.
Yeah, but they're all in the same family.
All right, so let's get specific for y'all. Y'all ready? This is always a good refresher course for everybody. All right, I was looking for this for a reason. All right, y'all ready? So it says, some of these you might not know, just look them up. Addicts, you know what an addicts is? And you know what's crazy? This junk would be blurry as a mug, dog. Antelope, beef, bison, black buck. See, I wasn't going to be able to say all of these off the top of the head. Bongo, what's a bongo? Buffalo, roebuck, that's in South Africa. Bushbuck. Oh, are you serious? I saw these on Animal Planet, Life Kingdom Wildlife, whatever, Morgan Freeman, whatever. I seen caribous. You always see caribous. I didn't know they were clean. Deer, elk, gazelle. There's a lot of stuff we can eat. Giraffe. Everybody should know about this next one. Goat meat. Had curry goat, crazy. You still ain't had curry goat? What you been doing? What? So, the heart, all of that, I think those are all a gazelle, elk, deer, those all like same family.
You said Steph Curry the goat?
Man, he be chefing up. Heart the beast. That's another, like, it's probably South African, German type. You got, look at this. We ain't talking about the car. Impalas. Kudus. Right? Same family. If I'm not mistaken. Clip Springer. Probably amongst the same thing. Of course, we all know this one. That back, right? And lamb chop, lamb chop bar. Them lamb chop bar. Moose. So that was the list. Water buffalo, moose. Those were the only two that I recall from that list that I think was clean.
Right. Correct.
Because that's why I was like, yeah, for the most part, that's unclean, because it seemed like it was like 3, 4, whatever, 5 things on there. That was all bad, all unclean, or however many it was. It was only a couple that was clean. And there you have it. Your moose is clean, and so are these other things. You got mutton, right? That's from sheep, right? You got ox. We should know that. Sheep. Look at this one. Look at this one. Reindeer. But why not? Because of the deer.
Right. They don't fly.
Nah. And then going back to South Africa, springbok. I need to taste that. I need to taste that springbok. That thing, boy. That's their national rugby team, the Springboks. But anyway, you got veal. Everybody knows about that. You got yak. You got wildebeest. We ain't talking about what you drink. Yak, cognac. We ain't talking about that. We talking about yak, the animal, beast. Right. We got all types of stuff that I don't even know. A oribi, a akapi, a nyala, a sternbok, a takin, a topi, all this other stuff you gotta look up. Alright, so that's that. When it comes to these birds, those flamingos, ostrich, all very unclean. Let's read about it though.
Josh, you know what's so crazy?
What's that?
All that stuff you just listed, right? You just mentioned, right?
Yeah,
People got problems, still got a problem with eating clean.
I know.
They still want to eat pork.
That's all. Like that's all you can eat.
Yeah.
Like that's all that's out here.
Right.
That's
They
crazy.
focus on what they can't eat rather than what should be eaten. All the stuff we can eat.
Yeah.
You worry about stuff we can't eat.
Yeah, that's wild as heck. Yeah, I know, right? They act like they're gonna die. Well, what am I supposed to eat then? All this clean stuff. How about that?
Right.
They act like they're gonna die. Israel's so dramatic. Act like they're gonna die. We did that back in Egypt, back in the wilderness when we left Egypt.
Yeah.
We did that. Act like we was gonna die faint. Oh, I missed the good water, man. Like what? You talking about melons? That's why the Gentiles got you messed up. Using those melons as a proverb and a byword for you because God is doing that. Because God get the last laugh. You see that? We talked about how we missed the melons in Egypt. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's get to these animals, these birds, these fowls, right? I don't think they mentioned fish, but fins and scales, real easy, fins and scales. So for example, tuna, salmon, good. Catfish, jellyfish, shrimp, not good. All right. Like remember Animaniacs, good idea, bad idea, right? So you got 13, verse 13, and these are they which ye shall have in an abomination amongst the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle and the ossifrage and the osprey and the vulture and the kite after his kind. Is that where they got flying a kite from an actual fowl called kite? Every raven after his kind. That's so raven. And the owl. And the night hawk. And the night hawk. Wow, the night hawk. And the cuckoo. And the hawk after his kind. And the little owl. And the cormorant. And the great owl. There go your owls, guys. And the swan. Oh, swans look so nice and pure and like all Asian and stuff. But no, that's like a duck. You can't eat duck. You can't eat Peking duck. And the pelican and the gyre eagle or whatever. And the stork. See, they don't carry around babies. They unclean. The heron after her kind. And the lapwing. That sounds like what was the cartoon? Something winged duck. What was it?
Duck winged duck or something like that? Duck winged duck something?
Yeah, something like that. It was, yeah, something like that.
I don't know. You on the right path.
Yeah, that sound like that. Was it dark winged duck?
Something like that.
Wasn't it dark winged duck? Yeah, it was. Dark winged duck. This is called the lapwing. Yeah. Yeah, dark winged duck. Dark winged duck. And the bat. And all. This is called the lapwing. That must be related to the bat. I don't know. Hurry. Let me look it up real quick. What's a lapwing, y'all? Gotta look up some of these things sometimes. Oh no, it is definitely a bird, and it's. Oh wow, you know what it looks like? Oh snap, it's a beautiful bird, bruh. This junk looks like a cardinal, but it's not red. It looks like it's a multicolored, looks like a cardinal. Wow, that's nice. It's beautiful. It's beautiful actually. Wow, I might post that. That junk is pretty. It says, and the bat. So that's next to the bat. All fowls that creep going upon all four shall be an abomination unto you. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet to leap withal upon the earth. So that's different. All right. So what fowls can we eat though? This is the fowls that we can eat. So we can eat the chicken.
Yeah, Phascidae family. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but Phascidae. That's like the common chicken.
Yep.
Anything that's like the quails or whatever.
Yep.
Those type of birds.
Yep, quail. So quail is great. I do air fried quail is really amazing, and I've grilled it and all of that. So, and I've even had quail eggs. You can get quail eggs. So anyway, chicken, dove. This is fault. Don't ever think you can eat this, because a lot of these clean lists have this on there. They'll say duck. No, you cannot eat duck. Let me give y'all. I did my research. Let me show y'all why y'all can't eat duck. Duck. You see how bro over here was giving you the family? That's really important to know the family that it comes from, because that tell you what the species and the kind and the type, and therefore whether it's clean or unclean. See, look, the Lord has swan as unclean, right? Well, guess what? If you look up the duck family, you will see that it is related to the swan. So swan, duck, and geese all belong to the same family, and that is the Anaeidae family. That's the technical terms. They all got weird names. That is that family. So duck, you may see duck on some clean list. It is not clean, brothers and sisters. You might hear brothers fighting and arguing about it. Guess what? It's not clean. So let's tell you your clean birds. You got your chicken, your prairie chicken, your dove, I believe, right? Your quail, your... you really can eat a pigeon. You really can. Your teal, your turkey, your partridge. Partridge, you read about that in the book of Jeremiah, right? You can eat a peacock. Who was talking about that the other day? Kevin?
Yeah.
Was it?
Last week.
What about a guinea fowl? Not a pig, but a fowl, right? And those are some of your, I said quail, right? Those are some of your clean, and turkey, of course. Those are some of your clean birds, okay? So if you want a list, if you want a longer list, go look up your kosher dietary law. IOG got a good dietary law, clean and unclean food list to be aware of all these defiled, products from these Gentiles. And, go to your local butchers, man. Try to eat clean. That's why you got to hustle and make good money, so you can try to eat healthy and clean as you can, because they are trying to kill you in this industrialized food system. These supermarkets, Walmart, all of that, man. It's terrible. But what was the very last question, Brother Jonathan? And we done. We done after this. We're not going to spend much time. It's dark now. I know it is.
All right, final question.
Final countdown.
What advice does the church have for all these women who left their husbands but still attend the Sabbath? Are these women not the little leaven that leaveneth other women, according to Galatians 5, verse 9?
Okay. Yeah, that's a big one. Let's read Galatians 5. Galatians 5. Who asked that question? Galatians 5.
Judy Wire.
Judy? That's a sister? Okay. All right, Miss Judy, Sister Judy, we're going to go over to Galatians and read the verse that you quoted, and then we're going to maybe look at a couple things, because you always going to have, in a great house, you're always going to have vessels of honor and vessels of what? Dishonor. Right? And let's just read Galatians 5, and we're going to pick it up at verse 5. For we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness by faith. You gotta be patient. For in Jesus Christ neither circumcision availeth anything, nor uncircumcision, but faith which worketh by love. Right? And that's quite true, because just because you circumcised and you're part of the natural branches of Israel, if you don't believe in Christ, then your circumcision is in vain. If you don't have faith in the Lord and His blood, you can't get no grace, and there's no amount of laws you can keep. Ye did run well. Who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth? That's tough. Because look at that. Think about what they asking about the women who leave their husbands or divorce. Think about that. Ye did run well. See, at a time, a woman or a man too could be doing well, serving the Most High, and then they'll let Satan, after some years, they get tired. Just like what happened with Samson. He got way down, till he gave up, and then God left him. That can happen to anybody. So you can start off well. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish, though. Ye did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? How did you have all this understanding, and now you reprobate? Now you out the back door. How was you married to your husband, took the vows, and was all lovey-dovey for some years? And I'm not talking to anybody in particular. That's just the question that came up. But this is what we reading right here. How did you run so well? You started so well. Who got in your ear? Who put that bug in your ear that you shouldn't stop obeying the truth? This persuasion cometh not of him that calleth you. Whoa. That means that's not coming from God. Whoa. That means Satan out here calling people. Whoa. Verse 9, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Right? And then it says, I have confidence in you through the Lord that ye will be none otherwise minded, but he that troubleth you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be. Wow. Dang. Judgment in the Bible is no joke. So, let's also